Alright guys, what's up, welcome. Today is my first design review and I'm happy at the same time. I'm not happy. So I spent over 20 minutes actually designing a review, and then I realized that my screen recorder was recording the wrong thing. But nonetheless, I'm still going to take you guys through my design thinking. So this is a design from one of my students. Her name is the Design Angel. You can follow her on Instagram, and you can check out her designs. So now I'm quickly going to make some reviews so that she can learn from it, and you also can learn from it. So I basically redesigned this design using the elements she already placed in here. So I'll quickly be going over some of the things that I changed, and you can see for yourself, or you can learn from it. So the first thing that I did was the first thing you want to notice, it's actually beneficial to get some design. Sorry, not design. What am I saying? You need to get a little bit of knowledge of HTML and CSS. It actually helps you much better when you're making designs, right? Because you get to understand some of the concepts that web designers go through while coding out what you designed. So the first thing that we want to note here is that this design I made here was made with a grid layout. So you can see it, most web design is done with 12 column grid, so you need to also consider this in your design. And this 12 column grid usually has margins on the side, and one thing this margin on the side does for you is that it gives your design a lot of breathing space, which in turn still makes it look nice. Compared to there's not much breathing space on the side, and it doesn't really follow an alignment, right? Like for this one, you can see an invisible alignment throughout the design, and it contributes to making the design look much more professional. Then the next thing I touched on is maintaining design consistency across your design, right? You need everything to look consistent. For example, here the icons are not looking consistent. I just recreated mine using simple shapes. The input fields are not looking consistent as well. So some of those things throw the design, it throws it off, right? Another thing again is using negative space. Having a lot of space around your design helps it to be easily readable, right? People can easily swim around it without their eyes feeling any tension. So it's very, very important that you have a lot of space in your design. I know one of the things that is common with design clients is that they want you to use every single space in whatever design you're making, but it doesn't work like that. The freer, or the more the empty spaces in your design, the more it looks professional. So that's something else I leveraged in this design. Then another thing also as well is the font. So this font used here is your basic Roboto font, and it could have been used much better. For example, managing the weights. Not everywhere needs to be bolded. This place was bolded, and it's not necessary because this is a whole lot of text that the person needs to read. So not everywhere needs to be bolded. And also, when selecting fonts, you need to consider the personality of the design. For this, I was going for an elegant design. That's why I used Beliza font for the headings, right? I was going for something elegant for design. So font is all about personality of what you're going for. So if you were going for something playful, you look for a funky design. Now when coding, you also need to look into proportions, right? Proportion is basically having an idea of the sizes of items in a web page, as regards what you are designing. For example, here I started off of the screen of a MacBook Pro, right? And I can get an idea of how this design will look while scrolling through a MacBook Pro, and how things would look in the eyes. So it's very, very important that you look at your sizes, your proportions, the size of one thing against another, the size of the heading against the body. Commonly the base font for a body type is 16. Then you can scale up your heading text from there. but you want to make sure that your proportion is consistent as well. Then I think the next thing is emphasis. Now, like, this design has a lot of things calling their attention, you know, like there's huge contrast in this input field. You notice here that I dimmed down this input field to like match the dark flow of the design, and like this text too was dimmed down. So like you need to establish priority in your design, like what are the important things to focus on and what are the other things that should be read as secondary, you know. So you need to also consider that in your design. Another thing that makes design nice is actually using trend. Like, this design is actually trendy, right? So like using a dark theme, you know, and leveraging stylish fonts. This particular section here is sort of like a trend. I do notice somewhere, like using some kind of strange looking illustration or image. It sort of like brings interest of the viewer to that section, and then you can sell them on some CTA or form. So yeah, this is a general overview of the design. I hope you learned one or two things from it. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, and I'll see you next time as I share more design reviews. Thanks for coming. Yep.